Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to give you all a quick update, and this is going to be a totally unedited video. We've all been freezing here, just like I'm sure the rest of you have been, and I wanted to let you know what's been going on here. We're not used to the cold down here. Now, when we lived in Colorado, you knew winter was coming, you prepared for it, and you know, everything was okay. Well, down here we didn't expect it to get this cold for this long, so we didn't prepare, which caused a lot of problems for us. So as you can see, we got a bunch of ice, and that is from all the animals' waterers. So all of the water in the animal pens have been freezing. So for the last couple of nights, what I have been doing is emptying their water when I go to bed and then waiting until morning to refill it. So here's a good example. This was the rabbit's water that I dumped out last night, and then I gave her some fresh water this morning. So I have been doing that for all of the pens. For the quail and everything else, I've just been dumping their water at night and then coming out and refilling it in the morning. Now, before this cold hit, we did have plans to do some work, and we went and purchased some metal for this barn. Because as you can see, we've put the turkeys in the barn. Here's Miss Brown and Fergie. And then down here, we've got one of the roosters. And here we have Mr. Blue and the hen that we had in the grow out pen. If you can see her over there. And the reason we locked the turkeys up is because this hen in the grow out pen, she actually started laying about a week ago. And I didn't know if Miss Brown was gonna start laying or not, so I wanted to get them all locked up so that we had them separated by breed, and this year we can get some purebred turkeys. So yeah, they're going to be locked up now until until Miss Brown lays all her eggs and she's ready to set on them. Then we will let the toms out and just leave the hens in there to set their eggs. So the plan was to get the roof on the barn so that they're out of the rain and they're protected, because even though we've got the tarps on it and we've got metal up on the floor of the upstairs, it still gets wet in there when it rains. So that's the plan. We want to get that roof on and get them protected from the rain. And it is super cold out here. I don't know if you can tell, but I've got a terrible cold, and yeah, it's awful right now. Inside the hen house here, we borrowed this brooder from Tony, and we put these quail that we just hatched in here. They're all already laying. I think they're 5 or 6 weeks old, and they have these little plastic waterers, and they froze last night and every night. So again, I emptied them at night and then refilled them this morning. I'm just trying to keep them with some water. So yeah, okay, so that was the smallest of our problems. The biggest of our problems is the fact that we haven't had hot water in 3 days, because all of our water here is run with garden hoses, because of the fact that someday we do plan on building a house. But yeah, so nothing here has been permanent, and all of our water is run with water hoses. Well, here we have our hot water heater, and the hoses going into it froze. We don't know if the hot water heater froze or not, but it won't light because all the lines are frozen to it. We spent all day yesterday thawing out one hose so that we could get cold water into the kitchen, and I've just been heating water on the wood stove in order to do dishes. So that's been real fun. Now, that still is not our biggest problem. Having no hot water is no big deal. You can heat water on the stove. Our biggest problem is the pickup truck. It had an antifreeze leak or a water leak in it for quite a while now. So Eddie kept putting water into it so that we wouldn't waste money on antifreeze, because it's been 60s and 70s here. And then all of a sudden the temperature dipped and the water pump froze in the truck. So we've put heat lamps underneath the truck to try to thaw it out, and hopefully the sun will help it. And yeah, so until it warms up and we see if it thaws out, we're not gonna know if we cracked the block or not. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's just the water pump frozen, and we'll find out in a couple of days how that's fared. So we don't have a vehicle right now. We do have Ocean's vehicle. So I've had Ocean doing some work. Now, Eddie became very ill last night. He was up all night, vomiting, all that. So he's in bed all day, and it's up to me. It's up to me to get all these waterers unfrozen, get new water to all the animals, heating up water for dishes. It's a little bit. So in here, this is in the hatchery. We also have some roosters in here, and I plugged this brooder in. It's got heaters, and it has worked to keep the water lines from freezing, because they have this PVC waterer with the little red watering cups. And then I've got this heat lamp on here to keep this water line thawed out, and it's been working. So I haven't had to deal with their water, which is a good thing, because these little waterers here, they don't really fit inside the levels of that. So that's worked out pretty good. And then we have the roosters right out here, and I threw in some straw for them so that they could try to stay warm, and their water has been frozen every night, so I've been taking that out and emptying it. So now this is a lot of our own fault, because we did live in our Winnebago right here. We did live in that from 2012 until we moved here, which was in 2019. So we know about cold weather. And when it gets cold, we run the water in the Winnebago so that the pipes don't freeze, because that would be a very expensive fix to fix all the pipes. So I did run the water in the Winnebago, and it did not freeze. So we do have running water in there, which is good, because yesterday we didn't have any running water in the kitchen whatsoever. But for some reason, I didn't think to turn the water on in the kitchen, and so that's why all of that froze up. Even the outdoor frost-free hydrant froze, because the water line, the hose to the kitchen was connected to it, and it was on, and so we just lit a little fire around it and thawed that out. But so let's go up to the garden and see how that has fared. We have broccoli, onions, garlic, and some carrots in there. And I'm really hoping that it survived the cold. I don't really see any onions anywhere. This is all garlic. The garlic looks really good. It survived good, but these onions were tiny. Yeah, I can see some down in there. So yeah. So I'm pretty sure the onions will just re-sprout, but all the garlic looks really good. I'm happy with that. And here we've got the broccoli. Excuse me. And we did put this frost blanket over it, and as you can see, the wind has thrown it off, which, because it's supposed to warm up, I think I'm gonna just take it off and see what's under here. I really want this broccoli to survive, and I know broccoli can take some cold temperatures, but it got down to 16 degrees the other night. So I was a little bit worried that that would be too cold. So we did cover it up. But let's get this uncovered. Come on, lay down. Oh yeah, they look really good. They look good. I'm really happy that they've survived. They look good. So that's kind of shocking that everything, I can see some onions standing here. Oh yeah. So it looks like everything in the garden did well, which is absolutely fabulous. I was really worried it was going to kill everything, but everything looks really good. So, yeah, I'm out of breath. I've got a horrid cold, which I'm pretty sure I got from Eddie. Ocean was sneezing one day, and then Eddie was kind of getting a cold. And now I got the cold, so I'm hoping I don't follow in his footsteps and get whatever he has now, because he was up all night. So I've just been trying to thaw some things out and getting the kitchen cleaned up from dinner yesterday. Oh, look at this. This is how warm it's got. Oh, I had a little bit of water. I think we shut the water off, but it's not frozen anymore. You can see water's coming out of it. I jog it up here, trying to get it up into the sun, because most of everything is in the shade, which does not help. The hose is kinked too, so. But I'm pretty sure we shut this valve off. Maybe not. I don't know. So that's what's going on here. How are you guys all doing? I know it's nowhere near as cold here as it is for probably most of my viewers. But when you live down here in the south, and you know, we moved down here to be warm because we didn't like the cold, but we've only been here for going on 3 years now, I think. So yeah, when you move down south because you want it warm, and then you don't have a lot of years experience, we didn't expect it to get this cold for this long. So we were definitely not prepared for it. Still spending, now we haven't gone hunting this past week, but before that we were still hunting every day. So not really getting anything else done around here. My apple trees, I'm sure, are loving the cold. I'm hoping that this means that they're gonna get enough frost hours or chill hours to possibly put on some fruit this year. I don't know. But yeah, so that's what's going on with us. You guys are gonna have to let me know how cold it got in your neck of the woods. Here, our coldest temperatures were, it was either 14 or 16 degrees. I think it was 14 one night. So let me know how cold it's been for you guys and any kind of problems you guys have been having. I've got to somehow get this water cleaned out. This is the chicken's water, and it has just kept freezing every night. We break it. We've been breaking it every morning, but not dumping it out. So it's just ice on top of ice on top of ice. So I'm gonna try to get that emptied out and filled up with some more water and move it over into the sunshine. And maybe that'll keep it from freezing. It's supposed to get down to 20 again tonight, and then 27 or 30 tomorrow night. Then we should be okay after that. And hopefully some point after that, once Eddie's feeling better and he gets the truck running again, hopefully we'll get this roof on this barn, keep the rain out of there. So, all right guys, 14, 15 minutes of me running my mouth. And like I said, this is gonna be totally unedited. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna upload it, and that's that. I just don't have the time or the energy or the patience or anything else right now to edit anything. So hope it wasn't too bad listening to me ramble on. I just want to let you know what was going on, and I would really like to hear how cold it's gotten for you guys. So thanks for watching, guys.